A note about notation. There have been several attempts for people to come up with something like mountain dulcimer players use that have tablature rather than notes for you to see when you're looking at sheet music. I'm not a big fan of that. I think it takes about as much time to memorize a system of tablature as it does to memorize these notes. Now, in another section of Dulcimer School, we'll be building some general theory that will help you learn how to read the notes. This, in this case, is G, A, B, C, D, E, F natural, F sharp. But what I do want you to note in this place is the marks underneath the hammers. This is something we'll be using here: right, left, and R is for right, and L is for left. You can see that. But sometimes you'll see R dot or L dot. Sometimes you'll see dot L or dot R. I want to explain what that means now. On the hammer dulcimer, it's a unique instrument in that sometimes you have some notes that occur on the bass bridge, like this E, that also occur on the right-hand side of the treble bridge, same note, that also occur on the left-hand side of the treble bridge. Now that can be confusing. If there's just an L or an R marking, you might not know which one to play. So I've got a pretty simple system that I use, and I'll explain that to you now. So let's go back over here and take a look at the E that's highlighted in blue now is the particular E that we're talking about. So we want to play that on the bass bridge with our left hand. I'd leave it marked just like it is. If I wanted you to play that instead on the right-hand side of the treble bridge, here instead, it'd be marked with that L dot. If, however, and I know you've got this by now, but I'll show you anyway, I wanted you to play that on the left-hand side of the treble bridge, I'd mark it like that, dot L. So that dot will give you an idea of where to play it. If there's nothing, you play it over on the bass bridge. If there's a dot to the right, you play it on the right. Dot to the left, you play it on the left. And, of course, the letter L or R just lets you know whether to play it with a right or a left hand. There are some really big instruments out there now that have super bass bridges on them. And a super bass bridge is over here to the right or way over here to the left. If I am notating something and putting hammer markings on it for an instrument with a super bass bridge, I'll go ahead and put a minus on it. If the super bass bridge is on the right-hand side, I have two instruments with super basses. One's on the right, one's on the left. I put the minus to the right. I'll probably always put it to the right on Dulcimer School here because you can't make music for everyone's instrument. But a good trick for you, if you have an instrument that has the super bass on the left, like a Dusty Strings D650, is put the minus on the left-hand side. That'll be a reminder. So it might say minus L if you're going to play it with your left hand over on the super bass bridge. Because of the extreme positioning of those super bass bridges, quite often it's really hard to get to them with the opposite hand anyway. So I hope that helps you to understand the notation. Remember, you're just looking for L's and R's, mean left and right. If there's just an L or just an R, that means that you play it on the bass bridge. If there is a dot to the right of the L or the R, it means you use the right or the left hand on the right side of the treble bridge. If there's a dot to the left, that means your left hand is played and is used. Excuse me, if there's a dot to the left and it says L, it's going to be on the left-hand side. So, moving on, hope that explains the notation for you.